Hey guys, Brian here, and welcome back to the channel. And Nvidia's earnings report is coming out this week, and that is one of the things I want to talk about because a lot of people have been asking me, like, how would I play Nvidia this week? And to be honest, doing the wheel strategy, doing my cash secured puts and cover calls, it's going to be the same no matter what. Just I change like 2 or 3 things, and I just make it a little bit more conservative. That's really it. So before we jump into all that, remember, none of this financial advice. This is just education, because this is what I do on Sundays before the market opens. I read up some news and I kind of like look at the charts and see where I think things could go. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball, but this is exactly what I do. So let's just jump into my desktop. But again, before we do that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate all the support that you guys give. And if you guys love the knowledge, again, like, comment, and subscribe. And here we are on the chart. And this is Nvidia. So currently sitting at $141, $142. I got the Bollinger Bands on because I like seeing the standard deviations of what things could potentially move to, you know? So obviously earnings report is coming out, I believe, Wednesday. And there's some news coming out that, like, there's a few things here, like the markets are muted open. The stocks cooled last week after election rally, with the S&P falling down 2.1%, the Dow down 1.2%, and obviously the NASDAQ ended the week down 3.2%, which is a good amount. So after initial rally, after election, we're kind of like climbing back down a little bit, which is fine, which is great. So hopefully the people that made a bunch of like calls and all that are taking their money off the table, like they're taking their wins, which is a great thing. So obviously, what is like going on? The Fed already cut rates twice in September and is still expected to cut rates another 1/4 point in December, but could slow its pace after that. The Fed Chair Jerome Powell's comments last week that the central bank wasn't in a hurry, and that sent stocks lower. So pretty much we're just trying to see what the market sentiment's going to be, because obviously there's going to be a lot of fear. Like, what is the market going to be? What are people going to want to do with their money? Do the people want to invest it? Do they want to hold it in cash? So this is what we're going to see coming on, like earnings reports, and obviously towards the end of the year, because there's a lot of things that are going to be going on. And again, talking about earnings and all that, we could look at, there's like one thing here where Nvidia's Blackwell chips are extra toasty. Server is overheating issues impacting Meta, Microsoft, and Elon Musk's AI. So there is some overheating, and obviously you would hate to have bad news on earnings week, which could technically, I won't say tank the stock, but it could definitely drop it a good amount. But from what they're saying, they are overheating, and Nvidia is working with the leading cloud service providers as an integral part of the engineering team and process. But the engineering iterations are normal and expected. So things are also going well, even though there is some overheating. And Nvidia's Blackwell chip revenue was projected to hit $6 billion in the next quarter. So obviously, despite these little like setbacks, I believe their earnings report is going to be actually like great. I think it's going to do really well, because when you think about Nvidia, right, they're not just like computer chip. They are a part of the AI. They build out GPUs and chips, and then for crypto, they are the ones that build out the GPUs and chips for the miners. Like, they're a part of everything that is computers, that has computers, that needs chips, that needs GPUs. They are a part of everything. And like, I don't see them really dropping too far down if they do drop, but like, I just don't see it happening because of how big this company is and how much ahead they are over like their competitors. They're like head and shoulders above everyone else, in my opinion. So I don't really see them dropping too much, even if they had like a kind of bad news with their earnings report. But like, people were asking me where would I see? I would just see it into like pre-election days. So what was it, November 5th? Like 130s, like dropping down around like $8, $10. But even that is significant. But say if you want to be like even more scared, I don't really see it dropping below like 125. I had a different chart up before where it was kind of showing like where there was a consolidation before like the 125 area, and like the lowest I saw that I would think something would happen would be like the 115s. But I really don't think it would drop that significant to hurt, you know? So like what would I do this week? So this would be fairly simple for me. Like my delta is just going to be less than 15%. I'm only going to trade this one a weekly. Sometimes I usually for my covered calls and cash secured puts, I kind of like to go out a month for a good amount of them because you could collect more premium. But I looked out like a month out and there wasn't much of a difference to make me want to look pretty much past like. So if I wanted to do like a 15 delta, you could go like 128 right here. We would get $203 this week for putting up like a little under $13,000 of collateral, and I believe that's going to be like 1.4%. Let me give you exact calculation here. Calculator, 203 divided by 12800, 1.5%. Pretty good for a week, getting 1.5% on the week. And imagine if you could do that for 4 weeks, you're getting 6% a month, which would be a beautiful amount of money. And that's at like the 128 mark. So that's like a 15% delta. And if you want to be really conservative, if you're like brand new into this and you just want to like get used to the momentum and figuring how this would work, I would actually be on earnings weeks. I go very conservative. So you could even like choose this like 6 delta right here and just get paid $104. $104. That's not bad. 104 divided by 12,000. You're getting paid a little bit less than 1% on the week, which is still very good. You're getting paid like a free $104 because I don't see Nvidia dropping down to 120, and you can pretty much like set and forget it that like it's most likely not going to go there. So you just made a free like $104. But if it did go down there, you're pretty much buying Nvidia at like one of the best discounted prices you could possibly get, because I personally believe that Nvidia is like $300 to like $500 stock, and it's like getting in on these prices right now in like the hundreds it's like a beautiful thing to do, because you're gonna have the potential to collect so much income on the way up on the covered calls, and then on the appreciation, and then of course they even have like a little dividend as well for Nvidia. So like you're like triple dipping on Nvidia. So this is personally what I do during earnings reports. I kind of just be a little bit more conservative just in case it does drop drastically. And it's okay to be pessimistic in the market, because obviously you're using your own money here. You're putting up your money as collateral. You got to be having some sort of plan. And my plan is, whenever I do cash secured puts and covered calls, is like on the covered call side, I want to be okay with selling my stocks at a certain price, making sure I'm capturing the appreciation and the money along the way. And when I'm on the put side, I want to make sure that I'm very okay with buying the stock at that specific price, making sure that that's the price that I believe I will get the most bang for my buck for having like being able to buy, say, Nvidia at a huge discount. Like currently it's sitting at like 142. Imagine being able to buy this at 120. That's a $20 difference in stock price, which I obviously believe that if it went down to 120, it would fly right back up to 140 in like a month, 2 months, 3 months, whenever more updates happen. So this is exactly what I would do with Nvidia. This is just a pretty straightforward video on like being able to do this, make a lot of money, and dip on out. And let's just say you were able to get, like, the stock stayed as volatile as it is now, but you're able to get around $104 a week off of Nvidia. You're making $5,408, and if you divide that by like the $12,000 you originally put up as collateral, that's 45% on your money. That's way better than any bank account, way better than any high yield savings account. It's like a no-brainer to do cash secured puts and covered calls, especially on stocks that you want in your portfolio. That's the only way I teach it. That's the only way you should do it. You should only be doing this with stocks that you believe in, stocks that you want in your portfolio. And when you do that, there is like no way that you could actually lose, because the stocks you should be going with are the ones you're the most bullish on, the ones that you've done your research on, the ones that are going to be around a long time and then have the biggest growth potential, in my opinion. So that's why I personally just stick with like 5 to 6 stocks that I just know like the back of my hand. I do like Nvidia, Tesla, Coinbase, Palantir, and I go in and out between like AMD and Sofi. Those are like the main ones I personally use over and over again, which has been able to double my portfolio very quickly. My public portfolio that I share a lot on my Instagram and YouTube, I changed like for over a year, last year, from $31,000 all the way up to like 71. And it's probably at like 69 right now because the market's a little bit dippy, but pretty much doubled my money in a year. And now that I have like 70 grand in that account, the plan is to double that again. So at least get into the mid 100,000s. And this is me without actually putting any extra money into it. So this is like the best strategy you could use, is like the wheel strategy. And if you want to learn more about it, I have a free PDF in my Stand store. And if you wanted learn a little bit more about it, I do have a course. I believe it's the cheapest one ever out there. Like, it's super easy. I did it all in like a course form, and I go over everything in the simplest terms possible. So I highly recommend that one. You'll get so much value off of that small little price to pay. And you'll most likely, if you have a good amount of money, you'll make back the price of the course in like the first month. Or some of the people that bought it and used it, they messaged me that they made back the course money on the first play. And obviously what I've been doing, if you do buy the course, see my email in the description down below. Email me showing me that you bought it, and I will schedule a one-to-one with you, and I will go over anything, any questions you may have when you're done with the course, and we will go through like your potential first trade, first trade, anything you have right on there, like right on like a little Zoom call. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys very soon. Peace.